Yes. Okay. Hi. Right now we will speak with the director of the movie The Reason for Being, Julie Kebbi. Hello. My name is Sasha.
Hi, Sasha. I'm Julie.
Yeah. What's up? It's your first time in Madrid?
No, I used to live in Madrid, actually, 10 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
So I used to come back and forth a lot. But it's my first time coming to Madrid for a festival.
Okay, yes.
So.
Congratulations. I really like your movie.
Thank you
very
much.
Can I ask some questions about, like,
of course.
Some, like, a secret question?
Yes, absolutely.
How it was work with your mother?
It was complicated. That's the main one. So she knew what the topic of the film was, which is grief and exile.
Yeah.
And she was going to have to tell me about her life story and a lot of things that we had never discussed, even in person. And this time we were going to discuss it in front of a camera. So she knew what to expect, but I think she never fully understood what to expect until we got to Lebanon and started shooting, which I think makes sense if you haven't been in films before. So the first few days were very complicated because we couldn't understand what we wanted from one another.
Yeah.
And at some point I stopped the shooting after a few days and I said, we need to discuss this outside of a shoot, just the two of us.
Okay.
And we had a big heart-to-heart where we discussed, okay, what's your expectations of this? What's my expectations of this?
Yeah.
To really understand why we were making this film in the first place, to really reset. And after that, everything went fine. So we did have a big moment of conflict, but we were able to solve it.
Oh my God. But I think it's really complicated to work with this intimacy inside, like, I don't know, your house. So you kind of open it for everybody, for yourself.
Yeah.
And in this moment, I was thinking, like, that you have some, like, but like some connection with Chantal Ackerman, Not Home movie, because she shot her mother, and I can feel this energy too, and that's really, really beautiful.
I am so glad you noticed, because Chantal Ackerman is the main inspiration behind this movie. I have a bunch of other films as well, but Ackerman was definitely the main director where I was like, oh my God, we can make movies like this. So I was inspired in the fact that I wanted a lot of observation of it, and to really let the space speak for itself. Because yes, my mom is talking a lot. Obviously, she's the one telling her story, but actually the whole house is a character on its own, and you can learn so much about her and about us just through the house.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. Ackerman, great point. Ackerman was definitely the biggest inspiration on this.
And I want to ask, it's a weird question, I know, but about the last shot, because you have this shot, you're inside the car, you go outside, we wait, we see this man, and I was like, wow, it's the first time that I see men inside this movie, and they look so, I don't know, like, so absurd. They do something like this, and after you just go, like, why you shoot it, what it was like, why you put it in, like, the last frame, I don't know.
So there was a lot of debate whether I was going to cut before or if I was going to leave this frame in the film. It was a big debate, like what kind of message was going to be conveyed in the film.
Yeah.
And so the idea with this shot, so it's the first time you see us in the frame together through the film. And for me, it was a way of symbolizing that's also, okay, this is the end of the film, this is the end of the shooting.
Okay.
There's a lot of healing that has been done through this shoot, so we see us in the frame. But then where we go, I really wanted to keep it open for the viewer to just choose to know where we were going. Mm-hmm. So to really keep it open and not give the answer right away. The real answer is that we're going to the cemetery to see my grandmother's grave for the first time during the film.
Okay.
And so that's where we go. And that's why I just leave the camera and we leave. And the people who are in front of the building are just the workers at the cemetery. But I really wanted to not give the answer in the film so that if someone wants to ask, I can give the answer. But also if we can just be going elsewhere, going back home, going back to France. It can be anything.
Okay. Wow. Yes. Wow.
So...
Did you do this work for your study, or what is this project?
Yeah, that's my graduation film for my master's I specialized in documentary filmmaking in Berlin. And so that is my graduation film.
What's happened with the distribution of this movie right now?
It's going really well. For me, it was my first film ever. Yeah. I was not a filmmaker before, so it's a discovery of everything. Yeah. And so last year we were in about, I don't want to say any wrong numbers, but I think 6-ish festivals, something like this. And this year, so now thankfully we have FICIMAD to kickstart the year, and then the rest of the year for now is opened. But it has a second year in the festival circuit,
oh
which
my God,
is
it's really cool,
really, for me, I would have been happy with just one festival. I would have been like, oh my God, I went. So the fact that it gets to live 2 years out there, it's really cool. So
yes, thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you.